have your student log into Google Docs and create a new document by clicking on the left-hand side, Create New, and click the word Document. You can see it opens up a blank document, and the owner of the document, either you or a student that you assign, can create the new one from their account, and then click on Sharing Settings. And this allows us to add other students or teachers as partners in the project so they can edit simultaneously with you and share the responsibility for the document. So of course it shows me as the original owner. I'm going to go ahead and add some accounts. The students can add other students' email addresses. Realistically, you could add the entire class together to work on one document at the same time. I would probably choose to have 2 or 3 students in a group just to make it easier to manage. So I added a couple people there, some familiar names. So I'm going to click Share. Once I click Share, you can see the blank document. And as the original editor of this, I'm going to go ahead and type in a little content. So the writing prompt that I was assigned was Where the Turtles Live. And of course, this is an example. That would be the story. So as the first student working on being assigned the first part of the story, I'm going to go ahead and type in a little information about my turtle Herbert. I once knew a turtle named Herbert. And being the student, I would continue on. You can see adding more detail. Now, in a second, we're going to take a look at what my partner would see and how they would be able to work together with me on the story. So I'm going to go ahead and write a little bit more. You can see Herbert lived in a swamp near Newland Road. Of course, this is based on my own turtle named Herbert. Had him for a couple years. He's a nice little fella. Now, meanwhile, across at the next desktop, or even across the world if you wanted, literally, my partner student is logging in. They do that by going to their school website. So I'm going to use W&L as an example. So I'm going to go to W&L's website, type in the URL for that. Down the left-hand side of the page, there's a technology services link, and this is where the students can get to their student email. So you can see the technology services page opens up. There's the student email login. They click on it. Here they can use their username and password that they use throughout the division to get into their Google account. It automatically brings up their student email account. Go ahead and expand that. And you can see there was a link from the original student that created the document. Once they entered the student's account in, it gives them an email with the link. And you can see what I originally wrote, acting as the student who originated the document. So, you can have both students working at the same time. Of course, being the partner, I'm going to go ahead and continue based on what the original student wrote. So we're working together, theoretically, on the same document to complete a project collaboratively. So here I'm going to continue with something hopefully that makes sense, because some would say that Herbert was a little big for his age. It makes sense to continue with Herbert was a little bothered by this and often cried when other turtles made fun of him. So I'm relating it to quite a few students at adolescent and early childhood age. So meanwhile, on the original student's computer that typed in the first few sentences, they can see in real time what has been added by their fellow partner. And they can even chat with their fellow student to talk about what they're working on with the chat window, which is opened by clicking in the top right hand corner on that student's name where it shows them viewing. You can see it says admin is viewing. So they can send some basic messages back and forth. So we see they just typed in a message on their partner's computer. It comes up that that student is viewing, and they click on it and they can see their comment and they can reply. So it truly gives the essence of collaborative learning and collaborative project work, of course, which is a big part of our private sector in the 21st century. So you can see both of them working together, and this is an example of what your students could do in a simple project by taking them to the computer lab. Please check out the other videos to learn more about Google Apps. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.